Welcome to This Explainer. We're jumping right into the incredibly tight linguistic architecture of Surah 101, also known as Al-Qari'ah. This surah is literally a masterclass in rhetorical design. We're going to unpack exactly how it uses language to take us from a massive, macrocosmic shock all the way down to the individual, micro-level measurement of an individual's life. Surah 101 follows a famous three-movement progression, and we'll use that as our roadmap today. We'll hit 1. The striking mystery, 2. Total systemic dissolution, 3. The hinge of weight, 4. Two divergent trajectories, and 5. Ultimate structural reality. Let's get into it. Starting with Section 1, the striking mystery. So we're starting right where Surah 101 starts, isolating its subject with a sudden triple strike of rhetoric that just instantly grabs you. I actually want to ask you the very same question the text asks. You see, Surah 101 uses this formula called wama adraka, which basically means, and what would make you know? It throws this heavy term at you, asks what it is, and then explicitly tells you that it's beyond your current comprehension. It's totally withholding the definition to build this immense linguistic suspense. Before it gives us any descriptive content whatsoever, Surah 101 flags this term as something way beyond ordinary description. It uses an escalating three-part naming pattern. First, a declaration, then an interrogation, and finally that intensifier formula. It's essentially the text's way of telling us, look, whatever you think this is, it's much, much bigger. What's really fascinating here is the linguistics behind the word itself. If we look at the Arabic root, qri, it denotes a violent strike or a really sudden, forceful knocking. So Al-Qari'ah isn't just your generic run-of-the-mill disaster. It's an inescapable, reality-confronting event. It's a strike that forcefully impacts consciousness and just completely shatters our existing perceptual frameworks. Now, traditional eschatology often views this strictly as a future physical judgment day marked on a calendar somewhere. But if we take a really impartial look at the internal linguistic evidence of Surah 101, it points to a functional description. It's describing any absolute reality strike that strips away our false security, exposes hidden truths, and forces us into an immediate, unavoidable confrontation with reality. Moving on to Section 2, Total Systemic Dissolution. To really grasp the massive scale of this impact, Surah 101 transitions us right into the physical and social realms. It says, a day mankind will be like scattered moths, and the mountains will be like fluffed wool. These are just brilliant visual metaphors. In the wider Quranic corpus, this is the standard shorthand for telling us that even the absolute most fixed things in our reality are no longer fixed. It's a complete ungrounding of everything we rely on. You have to notice the crazy juxtaposition here. Think about humanity, normally this fluid, mobile collective. Under this strike, it becomes utterly directionless and incoherent, exactly like scattered moths. And then contrast that with the mountains, the ultimate symbol of solid, immutable physical anchoring. But here, they lose all their density and weight, just floating away like plucked wool. It brilliantly illustrates the total collapse of our worldly anchors. Tracing the Arabic roots across the wider corpus absolutely confirms this idea of systemic collapse. The root b-the for mabthus means particles widely dispersed into utter incoherence, a total breakdown of human social cohesion. And nf-sha for menfush means a complete loss of contained form. Surah 101 is literally painting a picture of total structural deconstruction. Which brings us to Section 3, the hinge of weight. So think about it. If the external macro structures of humanity and mountains are entirely gone, what metric is left to rely on? The narrative pivots sharply down to the micro level and introduces mawazin, the weights or scales. In the total absence of external reality, this becomes the single surviving mechanism for evaluation. It represents the ultimate measure of an individual's intrinsic structural weight and conscious alignment. When you look at how Surah 101 defines its own terms, it's just incredible. Take the root for heaviness, thaqal. Across the corpus, this root anchors the concept of weight directly to genuine substantive truth. In this linguistic framework, truth literally has gravitational mass. It has substance. Falsehood, on the other hand, is completely empty. The crucial point to take away here is that rather than envisioning literal, physical scales weighing parchment on some plane, the internal mechanics of Surah 101 support an evaluation of inner reality. It's measuring the accumulated weight of your own accounted output, your effort, and your lived alignment. Next up is Section 4,
two divergent trajectories.
With that ultimate metric of weight established, Surah 101 lays out a strict, mutually exclusive binary. You either have weight or you don't. A heavy measure, which means you have an operational orientation with genuine weight and substance, results in a flourishing, contented state. But a light measure, that denotes a total lack of internal substance. It's an empty pursuit, and it results in a complete collapse into an absorbing void. Surah 101 uses the term hawiya to describe this void. It comes from a root meaning a falling away or an empty, ungrounded chasm. And what's deeply unsettling here is how Surah 101 introduces this state. It uses a chilling maternal metaphor. It literally states that the light-weighted person's mother, their ultimate origin or the refuge they return to, is this plummeting abyss. Closing its rhetorical ring, the text deploys that wama adraka intensifier one last time. It asks, and what would make you know what it is, before explicitly defining this void as a scorching fire, an intense, consuming fire of loss. The structure loops perfectly back to the intense suspense of its opening. Finally, Section 5, Ultimate Structural Reality. Let's pull all of this together. Fundamentally, this explainer highlights that Surah 101 is a profound structural warning. It's way less about literal end-of-world physics and entirely about the ongoing urgency of building intrinsic reality today. It argues that any human security built on external, worldly constructs is just a weightless illusion. True deen, a genuine lived orientation, is all about cultivating deep, substantive alignment that will actually register as heavy on the ultimate scales of truth. As you reflect on the meticulous structure of Al-Qari'ah, I want to leave you with this final thought. When the strike inevitably happens, and all the illusions of external stability and worldly permanence shatter into fluffed wool and scattered dust, what structural weight will you actually possess? Thanks for exploring Surah 101 with me.